The buttons feel really nice. Yeah, oh man. So if you like want to dash off the wall, that's easy with this controller. But, hello and welcome to another NihongoGamer video. I've got a new thing to unbox today, and as you can see, it's a controller. But the question is, why do I keep buying so many controllers? Well, if there's one thing that I love about the Nintendo Switch, it's the fact that it's nice and portable. You can take it... Oh wow, the volume really comes on, doesn't it? You can take it out of the dock, you can slide the controllers in, and you can play really exciting games like Super Mario Maker, which I'm a big fan of. It's really reignited my enthusiasm for platform games. The problem is, the controller that you get with the console is this one. Instead of having a D-pad, it has 4 separate buttons. And so for that reason, I bought a Nintendo official Pro controller, hoping that it would be better than things like this. This is the GameCube controller, you can use an adapter, but this is really not the best D-pad. It's also really tiny and very rigid. And then I also have this controller which I tried in the past, which is the Hori pad. It's like $30, it's kind of cheap, but it has this issue where if you press forward and you ever so slightly push up, it kind of registers as a diagonal, when really I want as discrete as possible cardinal and diagonal direction. I just ordered this, it just came in the post today. Paid, how much did I pay for this? I think it was roughly $30. I paid roughly $30 for this. It's from a company called 8-Bit Do or 8-Bit Do. I don't actually know how to pronounce the name of this company, but you may recognize this controller looking very similar to the one that came with the Sega Mega Drive or the Genesis, whatever you want to call it. In different countries it was called different things. On the original Mega Drive controller, there were only 3 buttons. And then they made a new one after that which had ABC and XYZ. Not only does it have 6 buttons on the front, which might be good for fighting games, I might also dislike it, but the main reason I got it is for this D-pad, which looks like it might be better than the D-pads that I've got on all these other controllers. So let's go ahead and unbox this. On the front, got a picture of the Mega Drive style controller. On the back, you've just got a picture of the controller. It's exactly the same. It's called the M30 Bluetooth gamepad. I think I just slide it out of the box like this. Get rid of that, and let's open up the box. It opens up like an iPhone. It's got a nice, satisfying shump, and on the inside, nothing on the inside of the cover. On the inside of the product, you've got this. It's a little plastic thing that comes with the controller. We don't need that. Here's the controller itself. Nice and minimal and very light. I like how minimal it feels. There's really nothing else to it. It's just buttons and a D-pad, and hopefully the D-pad doesn't suck. So let's try this D-pad and let's see if it's what I'm hoping for. Oh, it is? Well, okay, first of all, it is quite loose, but it's quite big. It feels promising now, but I have no idea what it's going to be like when I actually plug it in. So let's plug it into the Nintendo Switch, which I'm going to put in the dock now. Inside the box, it does come with a cable, and the cable is USB-C. So if you're interested to know, the 8-Bit Do M30 Bluetooth controller does come with a USB-C cable. You can use it like so to plug it into a computer. I don't know if there's customization you can do, but this is probably how you charge it. Obviously, this is an homage to the original Sega controller, but I'm pretty sure the Sega controller didn't have shoulder button. On the Switch, press and hold Y and start. So if you hold down Y and start, you do get the little green lights on the bottom, and then hold down the pair button for 2 seconds. There we go. There we are. All right, as you can see, I've got the 8-Bit Do or 8-Bit Do M30 Bluetooth controller plugged in. A and B and X and Y are in the reverse positions of what you would expect on a Super Nintendo controller, but it looks like pressing A is confirm. Oh my god. So confirm actually is A and B is actually cancel. That's really confusing. Oh, right. And so R1 and L1 are these 2 buttons here, the Z and C buttons. Alright, so to be easier to see, let's try this course. Don't lose to thwomp. It feels nice. It's got a nice amount of travel. I mean, I can't test whether I'm getting accidental diagonals. If I accidentally press down, you will actually see him crouch. And it doesn't seem like I'm having issues there. And you know what's a little bit strange that might not work out for me is that I also want to use this for Mega Man X. And the X, Y, Z buttons here, I'm not sure if you can tell, these are significantly they're significantly smaller than the A, B, C buttons, so I'll often be charging by holding X and then while pressing X, be pressing Y. I need to switch the buttons because this is not going to work out for me. Alright, I'm on the 8BitDo website and it says M30 Bluetooth controller FAQ. Can I map the D-pad on this controller? It looks like I can. Can I also map and swap the A, B, X, Y buttons on this controller? The default mode of the D-pad is as left analog stick. What? Let's try down and select. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a red light on the top! Anyway, so that has apparently switched it back. So, start. Now B is confirmed, so like original style. Let's see if I can change this. Okay, hopefully A is dash and B is jump now. Let's see if this works. I've done it! Oh, brilliant, okay. This button in here is cancel and B is run. Alright, we're in business. Let's try this level now. Let's see how good this analog stick really is. Oh, try again. Get past there. Seems to be going okay so far. Oh man, this is... I'm only pressing forward right now, so this isn't really testing my dexterity of the D-pad. But for now, just keep going. The buttons feel really nice. I don't know about the D-pad yet, because I haven't actually pressed any direction apart from forwards. Ah! Not fast enough! Yes! Okay, I made it. Phew! Run for your life, Mario! Brilliant. Oh no! Okay, made it. Alright! Well, first things first, we've tried out the buttons and the buttons feel good. I like the feel of the buttons and I like that I can swap A and B and X and Y, so A and B's positions get swapped, then the X and Y positions can be swapped. I like that. Now it's time to try Mega Man X Legacy Collection. Let's just start with Rockman X, the original one. Alright, shooting is fine. Shooting and jumping not great, because the buttons are really weird shape. It's playable. It's playable. This is probably not ideal. I should have tried Mega Man X2 because I've actually got the dash, but in any case, if I can remap it, I don't know if I can remap it, but I would prefer to use these four and not these four. These four don't really feel so good. If you know how I can map it so that I can use these four buttons instead of these four buttons here, these four instead of these four, can you let me know in the comments? Shooting is no problem, charging and jumping, no problem. And what I like to do, being able to dash jump, which you'll need to be able to do. Yep, that's okay. I'm gonna say it's not ideal. The thing is, the dash button is a little bit too big. It's really big. So if you want to dash off the wall, that's easy with this controller. But if you're just trying to jump off the wall at a normal speed, not dash jumping, while charging, the whole point of this experiment is to see whether I can do it while charging up a blast. It's quite tricky. This is not the ideal. This is not ideal. Even if it's not the perfect controller for Mega Man, this is still a preferable controller to the original Joy-Cons, which look like this, obviously. And the other thing that was an issue for me with Mega Man especially, I would hold charge with this button here, and then I would try and press B and A at the same time. And can you see, I keep bumping into the analog stick by flexing my thumb like this. It seems like a very specific thing, but hey, video gaming is a very specific thing these days, so it's good to be meticulous. Now what we really need to see is the exact same test that we did on the Nintendo Switch official Pro Controller by playing a bit of Street Fighter. Let's go into training mode. Okay, so far so good. If I push check this out. If I push really hard, can you see there's no accidental directions? There's no accidental ups, no accidental down. Oh, you have to really, really purposely push diagonal for her to actually do a diagonal jump. Oh, brilliant. I need to set these buttons first. Light, medium, heavy. Okay, no, it's fine. I mean, looking at the inputs, you can see the key inputs. It looks accurate. This is a million times easier. Hang on a second. Yeah, oh man. Oh, this is a trillion times easier. I mean, I don't know any super complicated combos. This is just a way of me testing whether I can use this controller. But look at this, I'm getting it every single time. Oh, this is definitely, if you're playing fighting games or Mario, this is definitely the controller to get. For actual fighting, I have never used this layout on a pad. Usually when I hold a pad, I use my index fingers to do the strong buttons. But to have all 6 buttons on the front, that's going to take a little bit of getting used to. It's just all about the Shoryuken. Just a zillion times easier. A zillion. I cannot tell you how much easier it is with this D-pad. Well, that totally satisfies me. I really like this for Street Fighter and for Mario. I have to say, probably not the controller I'm going to use for Mega Man X. I actually think that probably the Hori pad, this one that I was using, this stick that I was using, the Hori pad, it's about the same price actually, but this one seems to work better just because the buttons are more openly spaced, and you know, pressing accidental diagonals isn't as, in fact it's not a big deal at all in Mega Man X. It's just so much more consistent. I can get Shoryukens every time. Oh man, and this is from using it for like a couple minutes. I'm so happy. This is definitely the controller I will be using for Street Fighter and Mario. Just for kicks, let's try a bit of Blazblue. Alright, let's try this. Okay, the buttons are in the wrong place. A, B, C, D, and then my partner will be ZR. So if I can do anything here. Feels really weird. I guess what I really want to know is, can I instant air dash? No trouble running forwards and backwards, blocking. I suppose because it is such a large pad, when you're switching, when you're like dashing and then blocking, then dashing and blocking, you may accidentally press jump. But for instant air dash, I mean obviously in this game you can actually instant air dash by pressing up and 2 buttons, but if you want to do it the traditional way by doing diagonal then forward, how easy is it? Oh yeah, you can get used to this. Oh yeah, no problem. You can do it backwards as well. Yeah, oh, no problem. Instant air dash. Doing my super is going to be a little bit weird, because B and C are in a little bit of a weird position. I suppose if I could hold the controller, I don't want to hold the controller at this angle, but ideally I want the buttons to be like this. To be honest, the perfect situation for me would be to remap the buttons so I can use it like this, like A, B, X, Y. I'd prefer to have it like this on these 4 buttons instead of these 4 buttons, but I don't know if that's actually possible. I don't know if it's possible, but I'm gonna look into it after this video, and if I find out, I'm gonna put I'm gonna put the instructions in a pinned comment or something below this video. I hope this has been useful for you. In general, I would say that this is definitely my preferred controller on the Switch. You know, if I have to play on pad. This is my preferred pad for playing fighting games on Switch and playing Mario on Switch. I think it is just a little bit weird to have these big buttons here and small buttons here, and they're just huge, and so it's not really easy. To be honest, I would prefer if all the buttons were the size of the X, Y, Z buttons here, but we can't have everything. For now, this D-pad is a significant upgrade over the official Nintendo Switch Pro controller. Because, I mean, if I actually hold it correctly, it's really easy to get these instant air dashes and to be able to do my Shoryukens, which don't exist in this game, but, you know, the Shoryuken motion is easier in Street Fighter. If you like fighting games, I highly recommend the D-pad in this. It's an 8-bit do. It cost me like $30 or so, and this is the Bluetooth edition. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, share links and all that great stuff. And if you have another controller that you would recommend that I try with a D-pad that you think I would actually like, because I'm very, very picky about D-pads, do let me know in the comments below. And I hope you find a controller that works perfectly for you for your Nintendo Switch. I'll see you next time.